The Oculus Quest 2. This VR headset is extremely incredible. In short summary, if you're debating if you should get one, get one. For a VR headset that just starts at $300, you get a lot out of the box. As a fine example, not only is all the hardware and components, sensors, is all built into the headset itself, but if you ever want to, you can plug this into your computer and use it as a regular PC VR headset. And in addition to that, this VR headset has a lot of features that no other VR headset has in today's market. And if you're debating if this is a good VR headset to start off with, it is. So exterior wise, the Oculus Quest 2 comes only available in white. It's one of the only two VR headsets currently available in the market. The PSVR and this VR headset are the only two that's available in white. All the other ones are available in black. But there's a massive con to this. I actually own two of these Oculus Quest VR headsets, and this color stains a lot easier. And the microfiber cloth that's included doesn't really do justice if you're trying to clean it. But this being an all-in-one VR headset, this means it does have an internal battery, which can last anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. My VR headset is equipped with the Elite strap, which I highly recommend picking up because the standard strap is cool and all. It'll get the job done, but after the first hour, it becomes very uncomfortable. And well, the traveling case that my VR headset has, this is optional. If you have the first generation Oculus Quest traveling case, you'll be glad to know you can still use it on the Quest 2. You just have to flip it upside down with the Elite strap. And yes, it does fit the Elite strap as well as it could also hold the Quest 2 controllers. Now the resolution on the Oculus Quest 2 is 1832 by 1920 per eye, which when you compare it against other VR headsets available currently in the market, it's really good. But I think that I like the most about the Quest 2 is, unlike other VR headsets, the screen door effect on the Quest 2 is invisible to the naked eye, which means reading text in game is really easy. So the gameplay experience on the Oculus Quest 2, in my opinion, is the best, as it's the only VR headset that I've worn with this affordable price tag that has the clearest picture quality possible, especially when gaming. Now the frame rate, it is a 90 Hz display. The LCD display is capable to go up to 90 Hz, but there's very few games that will actually currently take advantage of this 90 Hz. So currently, some games only support 72 Hz, but in the near future, we should be seeing a lot more 90 Hz supported games coming out. Now, just like the Quest 1, this does have a manual external IPD adjuster. Just however, instead of having a slider underneath, there is 3 manual sitting positions that you could adjust with just your fingers, just like so. There's 3 settings to choose from. The first setting is 58 millimeters, second settings is 63 millimeters, and the third setting is 68. If you're unsure what IPAD setting fits you, there's third-party apps that you can download that will actually scan your face and will utilize the Face ID hardware to give you that exact number. Now, a pro tip, if you are one of the few that actually meet in the middle between these 2 settings, if you slowly adjust the slider, you could lock it right in the middle between 2 settings, so you could get the best clear picture quality for you. So the headset itself, technically it is an Android device, as it is equipped with a Snapdragon XR2, which has 6 GB of RAM. And it's capable to not just keep track of the controllers, but also manage the Guardian. And in case you don't know, the Oculus Quest is currently the only VR headset that has this unique feature, safety feature I would call this, where you could draw an outline around your furniture. So when you're playing in your VR headset, if you slowly begin wandering off the playroom, you will see these lines that'll let you know that you're going outside the play zone that you drew. And when you're outside, it will quickly kick in and turn on the external cameras so you can see everything in black and white, so you can quickly make your way back in the play zone without breaking or harming anything around you. I find this feature extremely useful and awesome, especially now that you can now toggle this feature on demand by using pass-through mode. By simply tapping either the left or the right side like so, this will turn on those external cameras so you can see what's going on around you in case somebody's yelling your name across the room, or you want to check a quick notification on your phone. Yeah, it works that well. Other interesting things about the VR headset is that it does have internal speakers, so you can still hear the gameplay even without using the aux cable if you want to plug in your headphones. Now, the speaker quality is okay. It's not the greatest, but in my opinion, if you're in a quiet room and you have this at a somewhat loud volume level, the The external speakers, in my opinion, they do a fantastic job to give you that full immersive VR feel. And yes, it does have a built-in microphone, which does a great job in my opinion. I never once had an issue where other players had a hard time understanding what I'm saying. This is extremely useful whenever you're playing battle royale games now, like Population 1, because you need to communicate with your squad, and the microphone does a fantastic job because the microphone does not pick up the sound from the external speakers, which is great. Now there are some awesome shortcuts built into the controller, where by simply holding down the Oculus button and you double tap the trigger button, this will automatically take a screenshot. Other nifty shortcuts, it's the pass-through mode that I was talking about, where you could just tap either right or left side twice and it will trigger the external camera so you can see everything with the camera scene in the VR headset while you're wearing it. There's other awesome things you can do with your Quest is you can also personalize it, as there's a bunch of different environments you can select from. You may also change the grid color as well, as you have these 3 color choices to choose from. And those external sensors do a fantastic job tracking the controller that never once that I've really complained that the sensors were lagging. Fine example is when I'm playing Beat Saber. I feel confident to say that usually if I miss a block, I admit that it was my fault, not the sensors. That's how well the tracking works on the Oculus Quest 2. Now the con that I can think about the Oculus Quest 2 is that it does not perform very well in a dark room. So the optimal place to play the Quest 2 would be a very light room like what we're in currently. This will be an ideal place to play with the Oculus Quest, but if you want to play at night, you can pick up one of these IR illuminators. These things are really inexpensive and they'll light up the room that the Oculus Quest will see it like a light source. But these illuminators are naked to the human eye, so you may not be able to see it. But when you're wearing the Oculus Quest, if you switch to the pass-through mode, you'll see that it's illuminating the entire room. Now, the Oculus Quest 2 is not recommended to be used outside, especially in a sunny day. So what you can do if you have a large enough backyard is use this IR illuminator and make sure you're playing at night when there's no sunlight that could harm the sensors or the LCD display, and you could comfortably play this outside in your massive backyard. That's a cool trick you could do with this inexpensive IR illuminator, which I'll have a link in the description in case you're curious. Now the Touch 2 controllers, yes, these are slightly bigger compared to the Touch 1 controllers that originally shipped with the Oculus Quest 1. Although they look very odd, they're actually really comfortable. The rumble feedback I noticed has been significantly improved compared to the Quest 1 controller, which is nice. And in addition to that, they're really energy efficient, as believe it or not, I'm still using the OEM, the original batteries that my unit shipped with, and I still have juice to spare. But as soon as these batteries are all out, I'm gonna go ahead and swap them with Panasonic Innoloops rechargeable batteries, which I highly recommend everybody pick up, because in the long term you'll save a lot of money investing in these instead of picking up a box of batteries over and over again. Oh, and the battery cover issue originally complained about on the Quest 1, that's been resolved on the Touch 2 controllers. So no longer will the battery case easily come off, especially when you're playing high intense games like Beat Saber. Oh, and a cool feature that I almost forgot to mention is, yes, the Oculus Quest 2 now can track your calories that you burn when you're playing your VR game. And in addition to that, there's a lot of awesome VR workout style based games, like this boxing game for example. This was my main source of cardio during the whole lockdown of 2020. And now it's even better because you don't need to have a fitness tracker on your wrist, as the Oculus Quest can now track your calories, and you can always pop up this screen by simply looking up once you set this up by using this application in the App Store app library. This was a part of a recent update, and that's another thing that I really do like about the Quest entirely, is that the developer team are constantly rolling out a lot of cool new features that I've never thought would be possible, especially for a all-in-one VR headset unit like the Oculus Quest 2. And then, as I previously mentioned, if your PC supports it, if your rig is built for VR gaming, you can use the Quest 2 as a full PC VR headset. You could do it with either a wire or a wireless by using applications like Virtual Desktop that will utilize your Wi-Fi, and you can play all your PC VR games wired free without any sensor box around. And then of course you could use the Oculus Link cable if you decide to do that method as well to play some awesome games like Half-Life Alyx. But in my opinion, the best experience for this is to use Wi-Fi, especially if you have Wi-Fi 6 already into your household, as this VR headset does indeed have Wi-Fi 6. So latency, there is really none to really notice. Now, I benefited from the Quest 2 in multiple different ways, and not just gaming, but can also make an excellent entertaining machine. As a fine example, if all you want to do is just watch Netflix, Hulu, or just browse and look up videos on YouTube, you don't need to have the Touch 2 controllers on, as this VR headset can actually track your hands, which means it will keep track of every individual finger that will allow you to actually navigate the entire menu. So if you want to, you can literally just put on the VR headset, go on YouTube, and go ahead and watch a YouTube video or Netflix without having to use the controller. So basically that thing is like your own personal movie theater, because the screen is massive once you're in virtual reality. And there's also games that are constantly receiving this new hand tracking support. A very recent update of a very popular VR title, Vacation Simulator, while just using your hand. It's seriously really fun. And there's no need to remember to charge your hands. So yeah, currently in the market, I think this is the best VR headset available. It can do more than just simply play VR games. And Oculus Quest game catalog just continues to grow as well. But admittedly, it doesn't have the best privacy, considering the fact that you have to log in with Facebook in order to use this VR headset, unfortunately, which already led to some issues around the world, especially recently in Russia. But I really don't care. I don't really personally use my Facebook for anything besides just being in contact with friends and family members. But if you're in the market for a Quest 2, or you're debating if you should get one, I say you should definitely go for it. As I just previously talked about, you can do a lot more than just simply play games, and all your favorite games are very likely going to become or is already available on the Oculus Quest. But if you're concerned about storage capacity, the 64 gigs will get the job done. But a thing that I noticed is games are just starting to get larger and larger. So if you can, I would personally highly recommend just save up and get the 256 gigabytes. Trust me, you won't regret it. It's such a pain in the butt having to uninstall your game and also risk losing your gameplay data. Yes, there is ways you could back it up, but it's just a hassle. Trust me, you won't regret going with the 256 gigs, especially in the long terms. As I previously mentioned, games are just constantly getting bigger. But besides that, that is my official review of the Oculus Quest 2. It's an amazing headset, and I strongly recommend anybody to get it. But besides that, that is basically my review of the Oculus Quest 2. Overall, it's the best value VR headset for just such a low entry-level price available in the market. If you're considering picking one up, I'll be sure to leave them linked in the video description down below, as well as those accessories that I mentioned in this video. And if you did pick one up, make sure to go ahead and watch this video over here as I go through some interesting settings, some tips and tricks, additional things you can do with the Quest 2. And then that video over there, that's just a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you. Thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.